If you have been considering studying in Sweden, you are probably wondering how much it costs to pay the fees, how much it costs to like living expenses here in Sweden, are there scholarship opportunities? Then you are in the right place. Hi guys, welcome back to another video. If you are seeing this face for the first time, my name is Kindness. This is my diary, and in this channel, I share my knowledge about moving to Sweden, studying in Sweden, working in Sweden, basically my life here in Sweden. Guys, in today's video, I'll be diving into a topic that I noticed that most people don't really know how much it will cost to study here in Sweden. So in today's video, we are going to be dissecting all of that. So without wasting much time, let's get right into today's video. So let's start with tuition fees. In Sweden, public universities are free for EU students and EEA students. But for you who is an international student, you need to pay an amount of fees, and which depends on the course that you'll be studying. So the course depends on either the course that you are studying and also the university that you are studying in. So let's break it down a little. So if you are coming here for a bachelor's degree program, you are expected to pay between 75,000 Swedish crowns to 150,000 Swedish crowns. This is around $7,000 to $14,000 per year. Now, a bachelor's degree here in Sweden is 3 years, and 1 year comprises of 2 semesters. So for a full bachelor's degree program, we are looking at 6 semesters, right? So we can say a semester can be around 75,000 Swedish crowns. That's depending on your course. There are some courses that are lesser in amount, say between 40 to 45,000 per semester. So if you're coming for a bachelor's degree, we can say the amount you can pay per semester is 75,000 Swedish crowns. So multiply that times 6 semesters. That's for a bachelor's degree program. So for a master's degree program, we can also, it's almost the same range. So the ranges depending on the course you're about to study. So we have like from 48,000 Swedish crowns and above per semester, right? Now in Sweden, we have a 2 years master's course and a 1 year master's course. So for a master's degree program, the range that you have to pay is between 45,000 Swedish crowns to 100,000 Swedish crowns per year. Per semester could be around 45 to 100 per semester. Now, it depends on the course. Most times, science courses are very expensive. That's because there are a lot of practicals, a lot of field work that's involved in that course, and you need to buy materials to do all these practicals, right? So that's why most times science courses are very expensive. So for a master's degree program, you should be looking at 45,000 Swedish crowns to 100,000 Swedish crowns per year. Now, remember I said that you can go for a 1 year master's program, which is 60 credits, or a 2 year master's program, which is 120 credits. So lately, I've been a lot of people have been reaching out to me, and they told me they saw a course that the amount is cheap, and you saw like maybe 17,000 Swedish crowns, right? Now the thing is, if you want to come to Sweden with a visa or a resident permit, you cannot apply for those courses. Like I said in my last video, you cannot apply for a 7.5 credit, for a 30 credit, for a 15 credit course. You may be giving the admission, but you are going to study remotely. You're going to study maybe online or something like that. But you will not be given visa to come here. And the essence of you wanting to study a master's degree is to move to another country and see what it's like studying outside of your own country, right? So when you apply for those courses, you will not be given admission, or you will not be given visa to come to study in Sweden. So now that we've gotten the amount that it may likely cost to study a master's or a bachelor's program here in Sweden, let's not forget another expenses that we should incur or we are looking to incur is the application fee. For every application fee, you have to pay about 900 Swedish crowns for for the application that you are going to do, right? So that's another expenses that we are going to add to the tuition fee we are going to pay. So this application fee, 900 Swedish crowns, is around $85 or $90. So this application is a one-time payment for all the four universities that you are going to apply in. So meaning that if you don't get the admission this round, if you are going to apply again, you're going to pay another application fee. But for every round of application, this is a one-time payment. You don't need to pay for the first university, pay for the second university, pay for the third university. No, you don't need to do that. So we are going to pay 900 Swedish crowns for international students for application fee. So now let's talk about living expenses, because this is also something we need to consider when trying to know how much it's going to cost us to come here to study, right? So living expenses, how much does it cost? How much does the living expenses cost here? So depending on your kind of lifestyle, the city you choose to go to live in, the living expenses vary. So let's break it down. Housing is one of the biggest expenses. So on average, a student can pay around 3,500 Swedish crowns to 7,500 Swedish crowns per month for housing. Now let's break it down a little bit. So if you're going to be staying in a student dorm, you may be expected to pay around 3,500 Swedish crowns to 5,000 Swedish crowns. That's around $300 to $500. If you are going to be staying in a shared apartment, you may be expected to pay between 4,000 Swedish crowns to 6,000 or 6,500 Swedish crowns. All these things vary, like I said, depending on the city you live in and basically the area you live in. If you are in a city, if you live in the city center, of course, just know that your expenses is going to be much, because the city center is just like living in between Lagos and Kano, for example, right? So for studio apartment, you can pay between 5,000 to 7,500 per month in a studio apartment. So those are the living expenses for apartment or accommodation. So like I said, the prices of these apartments they vary, either depending on the city that you live in, right? So if you live in cities like Malmö, Stockholm, Gothenburg, just know that the apartment is going to be very, very expensive. Then also, if you are someone that may be able to share apartment with another person, it can sometimes save you cost. So if you are studying in a smaller city, you can find that apartment is a little bit relatively cheap in smaller cities. Now we've started accommodation. Let's go to feeding. How much it costs for you to spend on food. So for feeding, you may be able to spend around 2,000 to 3,000 Swedish crowns. It just depends on your lifestyle. As an adult, you don't have business eating 3 times a day. That's what I tell myself. So for in my own case, we are a family of two and we spend around 2,000 to 3,000 Swedish crowns. So that is just the average. Now you can save more of this money if you cook more in the house, right? If you are someone that eats outside, best believe that you're not going to save a lot of money. So if you if you cook home cooked food, you are going to save more money. So, but on the average, you are looking at spending 2,000 to 3,000 Swedish crowns. That's around $300 to $200 for feeding. So now let's talk about transportation. Normally, as a student, because you'll be going out every day, you need to get a bus card or a bus ticket, right? Now, in order for you to save cost as a student, it's better you buy the monthly bus ticket. If you buy a single bus ticket, you are going to spend more money in a month. So a bus ticket per month can cost around 550 crowns to 750 crowns, depending on your city. Some cities are higher, some cities are lower. Now, if you want to save cost, riding bicycle here is a normal thing. Rich people ride bicycle. Everybody rides bicycle here, right? So you can buy yourself a bicycle depending on how new or how old the bicycle is. You can get yourself a bicycle for around maybe 600 crowns or 1,000 crowns, depending on who sells to you. So you can get a bicycle so that every day you just ride to school and you save cost. That's if you know how to ride bicycle. So other expenses could be insurance. Why some schools offer you insurance, or there are some students that their schools don't offer them insurance. So you have to get that when coming to Sweden. So you have to put this amount of money into consideration. But if you are going to get an insurance from Sweden here, you'll be paying about depending on what the insurance covers, you'll be paying about 150 SEK every month for insurance. So these are the miscellaneous expenses. Don't forget your phone bill. You need to pay for your phone bill. A phone bill, I pay every month. I pay like 150 crowns for like 10 gig for my phone. So you want to consider also that one. Also, you will still have in the apartment you will stay. The apartment can come with internet, right? So you can have internet there, but you still need a phone internet so that you, when you step outside your house, you have something to use to surf the net. So you still need to buy phone internet on your phone. So for some people that don't have the amount of money to pay this tuition fee, the scholarship available that covers the cost of all these things, if you are able to get the scholarship, is the Swedish scholarship for global professionals, right? So if you are able to get this scholarship covers your tuition fee, your living expenses. So every month they have a certain amount of money that they give you on throughout the duration of your study. So that is the scholarship, that's one of the scholarship that's available for students or international students to come to Sweden to study. Another scholarship is the university that you apply to. Some of them have scholarship. Now, like I said, before you get that scholarship, for a school to give you a scholarship, you must make them as your first choice. So if you don't make them as your first choice, you know that you cannot apply to their scholarship, right? So sometimes this school offer you full or partial tuition free scholarship. So you may be given 100% tuition free scholarship, meaning you don't have to pay any amount of tuition for your study period. Some of the schools can give you 75% scholarship, so there's a little amount of money you will pay while they cover the rest of the scholarship. Some can give you 50%, some can give you 25%. So look out for all these schools that may likely give you scholarship. Another form of scholarship is there are some programs that if you look out for them, they have a certain scholarship for them. So they call them a program based scholarship. So maybe your course is a very very good course, and they always roll out scholarship for them. So these are the things you need to look out for when making your application. One thing I need to let you know is that these scholarships are very very competitive. So you want to really do your application to be very very good in order to have an edge to get one or two of these scholarships. So in total, you may need about 100,000 Swedish crowns to 300,000 Swedish crowns per year to study here in Sweden. Now, like I said, this amount of money is not a fixed amount. It depends on your course of study, the university you have chosen, the city you've chosen to stay in, and your kind of lifestyle, right? So you want to put these things into consideration. This amount of money may be lesser for you and maybe more for another person. So I understand that this amount of money can be overwhelming, right? So I you don't want to be discouraged. Studying here can be very expensive. It's not cheap, but when you consider the amount of value you are going to get when you move here, when you study here, it's sometimes I feel it's worth giving it a try. So knowing this amount involved in this journey, you want to maybe prepare yourself probably so that you don't get stranded on the way. So that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed creating it. If you have questions that you want me to answer, please leave them in the comment section and I'll be very willing to answer your questions. And I hope to see you here, and good luck in your journey. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Hey, though.